Okay, welcome back. This is video part 2. So if you're watching this one, maybe you got stuck a little bit on the other problems, or maybe you just wanted to check your work, and that's okay. I'm going to go through a few with you, okay? We'll start right here with number 1. The fraction is 1/3, and that is a pretty tough one there to start with. Remember that denominator was not one that went into 100. It was not one of those special denominators at the bottom here. So we have to divide. Top dog, that top number goes in the house. So 1 divided by 3. Well, 3 doesn't go into 1, so I have to put my decimal here and 1 right above it. And I put a 0 there. Now, if I add a 0 right here, that gives me a 10. 3 times 3 is 9, and I subtract and get a 1. Well, I have a remainder, so I can add a 0 and keep dividing. 3 times 3 is 9. Oh, it happened again. It's going to keep repeating. So I can stop right there. So it is 33 hundredths, but it's repeating. So we can write it just like that. Okay, I'm going to jump across here to number 11. Okay, so this number says 0, excuse me, 0.875. Okay, what I do on this one is I write that as a fraction. Remember what I showed you before? Write my 1 there. 0, 0, 0. So now I have 875 thousandths. I'm going to write this over here so it's a little closer. Now, what goes into both of those numbers? What can I divide by to simplify that fraction? Because it's not correct if it's not simplified. Okay? Well, I know that 25 goes into 75 and it goes into 100. So I'm actually going to try 25 here. That's a pretty big number. You could have tried 5. And you'll get the same answer in the end. You'll just have to divide more than once. So 25 goes into 100 4 times. So it would go into 800. 4 times 8 would be 32 times. And then 3 more there. So 35, I'm going to check that over here. 25 times 35. 5 times 5 is 25 here. 15, 7, so I have 875. That's perfect. So 875 divided by 25 was 35. We were correct. Now 25 into 1,000. Well, we know that there are 4 25s in 100, so that's going to be 40 in 1,000. Wow, so my fraction is getting a lot smaller, and I can still simplify this because that says 35 out of 40. So now I just divide again. What can I divide both of these by? A 5. That is the only factor we have left. 35 divided by 5 is 7. 40 divided by 5 is 8. So 7/8 is my answer. Okay, I'll do just a couple more for you. Okay, number 3, 2/5. Okay. Now that one could go with the equivalent fractions if we like. Because 5 times 2 is 10 and 2 times 2 is 4. Well, 4/10 as a decimal is 0.4. But I could also use division here. I could say 2 divided by 5. Okay, 5 does not go into 2, but 5 goes into 24 times. Okay. Oh, sorry, that went here. Number 13. Okay, that one is a very tricky one. It's written as 0.667. Okay, which I am thinking that one is probably supposed to be how it's repeated here. And that's one we just have to have memorized. That was one of our benchmarks. Okay. When you see a 0.66 or a 7 where it's rounded, you just have to have it memorized that that is going to be 2/3 every single time. Okay? All right. You have to remember those benchmarks. Okay, I'm going to do 2 more for you, and then we're going to be done. Okay, number 5, 3/4. Okay, that one you could use either strategy. Because 4 times 25 is 100, so 3 times 25 would be 75. Well, 75 100ths is 0.75. Or I could say 3 divided by 4. 4 does not go into 3. But 4 goes into 30 7 times. 4 times 7 is 28. And I'll subtract and get a 2. I'm going to add that 0 and bring it down right here. 4 times 5 is 20. Get the same answer either way. Okay, this is number 5. Okay. Oh, and look at that one. That's going to be the same there. Okay, so we'll zoom out right here. This one is a benchmark for you. You should know. And that one is. That one's pretty simple. We already saw that one up there. And 6/8. You can use division there. Okay, there are a couple there to practice. All right. If you get stuck, come into tutorials in the morning and let us help you, because it's going to be really hard to move on to tomorrow's lesson if you do not understand how to do these. Okay? Have a good night.